me feel like I'm computer retarded.
Trust me, trust me, trust me.
We
It
live.
comes with age, man. It comes with age, man, baby. It's all
I
good.
know. All right, so we gonna try to do this. Black mothers, black babies.
Yes,
We
yes.
are live.
We are live, baby. Big up, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. Big up, Hangouts. Big up, YouTube chat.
Yes,
So today's
yes.
topic is black mothers raising black men by themselves and how it affects them, their adulthood, and also um the community. So right now we're just waiting for a family to come in. But yeah, that's the topic today because we're trying to do it from, but it's from a building perspective. So it's not no where we're pushing propaganda. It's like a um get into the core, the meat and potatoes. Like we're trying to get to the pain and try to unpack it so we can obviously move forward. You understand, individually and collectively, to move forward and find solutions of how we can support and build and move forward. So,
Right.
me as a mother, I have two boys, and I'm not gonna lie, I find it extremely hard. Like as I was saying before in the previous, I don't agree. I can see where a woman's coming from when she said she's the mother or father, but I don't necessarily agree with it because I do believe it's very, very vital for a boy or any children to have both parents in their life, especially.
You there?
Yeah, there's things that a man needs to be able to give to his son and teach his son that you won't necessarily have the skill set and or the tools to do it. You understand? So I think that yeah, so I find it really hard to obviously, and I think it really does affect boys into adulthood and then into manhood per se, because also we understand that these are all like societal kind of labels and trinkets, that is used. We don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily adhere to these labels, but obviously in the current time we're going to go by that label because that's something that resonates with everybody. So obviously we're just going to try to see how it affects them, their manhood, and how and also how that affects us as a community, because I think we really need to break down. It's all good and well saying things about like funding and doing programs, but we need to really unpack and get to the nook and cranny of the issues, and then find like a solution base. You understand? Because I find what
Yeah.
the problem is we're not really understanding what our trauma and what the really cause and effects of everything, because we're still going by society and this oppressor or
Yo,
the
Spice.
yeah, can you hear me?
I know you flowing, sis. I know. Yeah, I hear you real good. But I think we non-ether and fineness are waiting for you. So can you send them
Okay,
the link
okay, yeah,
personally?
yeah,
Because
yeah, I'm sending the link to I sent it to Nanifa. I'll send it to finance right now.
all right, cool. And
Yeah,
then I'll let y'all add who y'all want to add. Because if I
yeah,
put the
yeah,
link
yeah,
in there, it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah, we're
go
not,
crazy.
yeah, it's gonna go left. Hold on. It gonna go left, man. And I ain't
Yeah,
got time to be
we
on
got to
the
get
phone.
Alvin on too. I don't have him personally, so if you got
Yeah,
him,
I'm gonna try to find him and get him on. 1 minute.
yeah,
One
take
minute,
your time.
y'all.
Take
Bear
your
with
time.
us, people. Bear with us.
Yeah,
We've been having technical difficulties, but it's
facts,
all
facts.
love and it's all
I'm a
good.
baby at this. I'm brand new, man.
It's
This is
all
day
good.
1.5.
But it's day 1.5, but he's on ball. So it's all good.
That's right.
Love and light.
I don't know why I can't. I don't get it. I don't got. It's like
Crazy, isn't it?
no back chat. It is probably a back chat if you could see a back chat, but we didn't name it. We gotta name it or something.
Yeah. Name it Black
I
Mothers.
can't even see it. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
You
I
gonna
know.
have to
Yeah, it's
invite me or
normally it's
something.
there and it's available for you to edit it, but it's not there for some reason.
It's never been there for me. I don't know how it
I
normally.
know.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know what the hell's going on. Spice video call. No, that's just me and you.
Yeah.
No, it'll come together.
Yep.
But yeah, man, that's a pretty crazy topic, man. And I bet it's like difficult, you know. It's gotta be something that lots and lots of women in our community are feeling, you know, similar to yourself, because it's
Hmm.
something that it's just very, very common for a mom to be raising children by herself, you know, and especially boys. We all know, or we all have a stigma, you know, like it's looked at a certain kind of way, like, oh, you know, them boys gonna be messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like if it's just the mom and the boys type of thing. Can you hear me? I'm just talking away. Um, all right, well, we waiting for people to come in here and talk, because I don't really know much about being a mother. And we also have to get this going. Let's see if I can get here. What was I doing? Video call. Lost my co-host. This is all crazy technical difficulties right here. I can't even see the YouTube page. Here we go. Alright, I'm fucking slow. So I'm in there. Hmm. Must be quitting time. Yo,
Yo, you the only one here?
yeah, bro, this shit been on for a couple minutes, but
Hold
I'm not.
on, but they all just sent me the link. Hold on. This Spice just sent me
Yeah,
the link.
this is probably a different link. I'm not sure, man.
Nah, you right. That's how I got in here.
Yeah, I don't really know. They probably tired of me not knowing what the fuck I'm
Nah.
doing. Tell you what, as much as
They
I'm
coming,
doing
they
this,
coming. Shit.
yeah, I should be good at this shit in another couple of days. As
Yeah,
much
you
as I've
will
been
be.
on it. Word up. It's like,
Hold on, Spice about to come.
she was in there. I don't know what happened.
She probably was waiting for us.
I need to oh, when people,
Did you send the links to certain people?
yeah, I sent it to
Cause nah, that what happened was that this Hebrew dude over there dropping some fucking knowledge, bro.
the elder dude.
Yeah, the elder dude. Yeah, he over there
Yeah,
dropping
I,
that shit.
I know. That's probably what's honestly giving me a problem is because all of those is like, it looked like I'm in those calls or something. You know what I mean? Or those was lives and then it didn't work out, so it's like all backed up or something.
Right. Yeah.
Is there a back chat for this live?
Yeah, it's a back chat for each one. It's always one.
Who's in the back chat? Do it say?
Right now, I only seen you.
For
I'm about
real?
to
Cause I
hold
don't
on. Let me
see it.
write in his.
Yeah, maybe it don't got a name or something.
Cause you got to turn on by maybe you got it turned off by joining by link. You got to turn it on because we all joining by links.
How? Let me see. Joining by link. It says on.
Oh yeah, you just turned it on. You just turned it back on. I had it.
Place where you at? All
Let me
right.
see if I could get the
But see, it's not saying that I'm on
in a
this
certain one
call.
and send it to certain ones.
I don't know if this is the. I don't know if that's the right chat.
You don't want to
But
send
you
it to
know
the
better than me.
wrong one. You want to send it to the one where Gotti and I'm at right now with the elder.
No, no. Yeah, you can. But I really wanted to I really wanted to get the back chat. I just wanted to see what the back chat was for this one because I thought usually they pull up it pulls up a chat for you when you go live, but it hasn't. Get rid of these.
Let me see who all I got. Close. Let me see.
Click to join the video call. See, like it's like it says you on the call. It
Sorry.
says
Yeah.
Spice is on the
Yeah,
call.
sorry, y'all. My I'm having battery
Oh,
problems.
Spice was over. Okay.
Oh, I'm here now. 1 minute. Let me just add who I need
Oh,
to
so
add.
that is the back chat. I'm about to name it.
Yeah. So it's black mothers raising black men, black black boys and how it affects their adulthood and community. Okay, and Anifa's there. Finest. Let me get finest in. Hold on.
Yo,
Yo, we got your
Yo,
finest.
yo.
so we're in the right place now, yeah?
Yeah.
Damn, that shit was a struggle, yo.
Welcome to Hangouts.
I know. I guess we got it. I appreciate y'all patience with me.
Nah, you'll be alright, man. We've all been there, man.
I guess that's true. You was over in the other spot with the old dude.
Who's the
Yeah.
one that start talking about. I don't know what he started talking about actually. Oh yeah, the different languages that he can speak.
I didn't hear it, but somebody told me he was dropping some knowledge over there.
Yeah, he was getting down. He was getting down. He was getting down.
That's what's up.
Yo, who is this, man?
Need to jump over here. Let's see what he know about black mamas.
Yeah, because I mean they be dropping some knowledge, but I mean like some of this, you know what I mean, like people like me, you know what I mean, they got a different aspect and it's more down to like earth, you know what I mean, because they speak from religion and who they are, I guess. But me, like somebody that's like down here, out here, you know what I mean, the I
Mm-hmm.
guess the fallout of people's religion and ideas, the fallout of it, the backlash
Yeah.
of what actually happens to us. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? I'm not them with all of that. You know what I mean? Not taking them from under them. I can learn. You know what I mean? But me, I'm in a position to do something, but not like how they are. I would be more in a position to do something like if someone to pop off and I had to put my paws on somebody. So I'm
Right.
trying to understand it like from that part because regardless of anything, everybody's religion has trickled down on us, and it seemed like it's still not right. You know what I mean? And it not like they forcing it, but you see people's ideas and different things, and we just like, dang, is this is this really what y'all fighting over? You know what I mean? In some instances of who started this nation first and who started that nation first. But well, if your cousin over here dying though by something that ain't got nothing to do with this, you know what I mean? That ain't got nothing to do with nation or none of that. We got people dying because of that, and if that can help stop that or where I'm coming from, well, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? If that could help stop that, if that was used toward that, yeah. But it don't seem like it don't
Okay.
seem like it is.
Is there a YouTube link? And yeah, don't put this link in no other chats, please. Because we're
Oops.
gonna get exposed.
All right, I'm not sharing it no more. I'm about to where y'all want me to put the YouTube link at?
Um, put it in this link, this chat, and then I'll send it to everyone.
I think this is this.
Who's got God the Jacobs? Here I can't find him on here. Hold on
We,
one minute. So Sister Nynifa, Sis Nine, you there?
she dropped off.
Sister Nynifa? If she's doing something in the background.
Hope she's okay.
She says she's still busy and about.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
So
okay.
what kind of perspective do you think men could bring to this a topic like this?
Well, obviously, from like I said, I feel like I'm not judging but most of us,
I'm
most,
here still, man. Sorry.
yeah, like
Oh, yeah, I think, yeah.
most of you have been raised by single parent home, like by your mother. So obviously your perspective and how it affected you in your adulthood now, and then obviously how it might be, how that kind of cycle is may be or may not be affecting you with your own children, or what you see in your community in the current state that we are. You understand? So I think men can still give their kind of perspective on how, and then obviously, and then from a place of where we can build and find solutions if need be. You understand? So I was gonna say, Sis Nanifa, if you wanted to give your perspective, kick it off from the other ladies' kind of First Lady, and give your like perspective on. I know you raise a son by yourself, so
No, that's not necessarily correct, Spicy.
yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that that is the thing. I'm just saying, well, just from your perspective. Like I said, I don't know everyone's
Okay.
situation. Yeah, but
Okay, all right. So just in terms of generally, yeah?
yeah, generally, yeah. You understand
Okay.
what you see in your community, and
Yeah.
obviously, as you being a mother raising a boy as well. Not saying to say per se that you're single, you understand, raising it by yourself, but just being a woman that's raising a son. You understand, from that kind of angle.
Yeah, it's such a complex issue, Spice, because like, first of all I would say like times gone by, you would say that, you know what I mean, a child coming up in that sort of archetypal, nuclear family was definitely the way to go. But I'd say in 2019, although I definitely am of the belief that it takes two, you understand, parents to raise a child. I'm definitely of that belief, and you know what I mean, that is the foundation. However, I would like to also add that, you know what I mean, I don't want to use the word single parent families, but like, yeah, it's not a new. No, I don't want to say it's not a new thing. Nah, you know what? Scrap that. No, listen, I'm all about because what I was gonna be saying to you, family. To be honest, though, yeah, like the single mother thing or the woman being the, you know what I mean, the leader of the house, whatever, is not necessarily a new thing within our communities. Even prior to the Windrush in the islands, you know what I mean, that could have been the case quite often for varying reasons. You know what I'm saying to you? And how did the boys turn out differently now? I mean, then, and now I'm asking a kind of question as well. So sorry about that. I mean, if you believe that to be the case, like, did the man them come out differently before? You know what I mean? Raised by just a mother to now. All right, that sounds a bit convoluted. Let me start again. Let me just read up and come again. So in the first instance, I definitely am a woman that believes in, you understand what I'm saying to you? A child coming up in a two-parent household. However, because I know before in the last stream I caught when Bullet was saying, you know what I mean? A man can't teach a boy to be a man. You understand what I'm saying? And I think Spicy, you agreed with that as well, and you even added the caveat that it doesn't matter how much that female might have, you know what I mean, different, you know what I mean, sort of male energies. You understand me? It still don't make the balance type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was really thinking about that still. And I was really trying to think back to older guys that I know have come up. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Just with a mother, as it were, just to try to make a comparison and see it in a reality. And what I would say is, yeah, I think one, it depends on the child, and one, I think it depends on that single mother. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And I just think that, there's probably a little bit of luck involved as well. Because the point I make is that I know some men that have come to a single parent, and they're very well balanced gentlemen.
And
You know what I'm saying to you?
and this is another another
And they then went on to have
that came up.
stable families. You see what I'm saying to you?
And some of them are even better than the ones that come from two parents.
Exactly. So even though I'm saying that, I don't want to demonize. Exactly.
We're not trying to demonize it. And even the point is not really just being a single mother, it's just from the perspective of mothering. You understand? Because
now we'll talk about that now.
Yeah, we'll talk about like sometimes obviously mothers, because we have a natural nurturing kind of thing, like sometimes boys or children can be over like mollycoddled.
Over mother. Man, I hear that. I'm sure that I am.
And how it affects,
I'm guilty of that myself.
And how it affects how
the
it
child.
affects the child, and then how it affects us, them going into adulthood, and like trying to connect the dots to how we've gotten here as a society, and if that's like the cause or effect, you understand, and then how we can come to like a kind of overstanding. And then
No, I
like
over that
kind of
still because I'm
yeah,
sure that we go through the same thing because we both have boy children, regardless of how the other side might look. You with me? I'm sure that we're gonna do
yeah,
similar things. So I definitely understand that, man. You know, for me, Spice, one of the most important things is as much as what we are doing, yes, it's the importance of the other men in the community. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And I
yeah,
think that's where I would like to kind of maybe highlight, you know what I mean, Carl? And it just goes back to that very simple thing of it takes a village to raise a child. You know what I'm saying to
yeah,
you? So for
yeah,
me, it's all good. You're in your house and you're doing your parenting in your house. Cool. But we then know that the child then has to go out, you understand me, into the world, into the rest
yeah.
of the village, as it were. You
Mm-hmm.
understand me? And then that's where it gets political, isn't it, Carl? You're sending your good you out there and then they go into the village where sometimes the villagers are not necessarily acting in the right and proper way. Do you
Yep,
understand me? And
yep,
the villagers are then not necessarily guiding
yeah.
you.
But then
You
that's
see what
what
I'm
I'm trying to
saying?
say. I think it comes from, obviously, it comes a lot to deal with how the villages come from, how they're raised at home. So I'm trying to obviously connect the dots to, you understand? I'm trying to, because what I feel like in our community is like we really try to shy away from understanding, like, and dealing with the pain and like, you understand the root of where things
I
come
agree,
from.
I agree.
You
And enough
understand?
for the man them, sorry, and I don't want to put it on the man them, but in this instance, I have to put it on them. In that, especially a lot of the man them, they don't resolve their own father issues. You get me? So then sometimes then I feel that when they're then relating to another young person, they're not necessarily doing it in the right and proper manner. You with me? And
Yeah.
not necessarily even teaching them to be men. They might be teaching them to be you know, gallus. They might be teaching them how to be shotters. They might be teaching,
Mm-hmm.
you understand what I'm saying? To you, all these other things, but that's not necessarily how to be a man, how to, you understand what I'm saying to you, go into manhood. And often that's because they themselves have not been taught. So, you know what I mean? For me, it's about really, you know what I mean? Like we say start with our own selves. You know what I mean? And then I think when there's more discipline within ourselves as individuals within the community, then the children themselves will just benefit naturally. Because the youth them are going around and the youth them when that's what I'm saying, when you and especially even with the Americans, because I think that their thing might be even more pronounced because of the kind of, you know what I mean, communities in which they live in. Because I would, you know what I mean, our communities and American communities are quite different, I would say. So I would say it's even more pronounced there in terms of, do you know what I mean, like, not but like in England, we're a little bit more closer together but scattered, if that makes sense, as opposed to in America. But anyway, I think I've rambled enough. But I hope that you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying yes, ideally, two-parent family is a necessity. However, you know what I mean, in and amongst that, it's just about how we outside of the house also behave. You understand what I'm saying, Jude? That's what I'm saying, man. Because nothing's in their yard, they're well behaved. As soon as they get out on the road, it's a whole different story. We
Right.
know about that. So
Yeah.
it's not always just about the home. You with me? Enough women have got the youth under manners in the home. It's when
Right.
they go out amongst the cats and dogs, then it
Right.
gets political.
In the dunya, as they say, right?
Yeah, dunya. Yeah, sorry about that ramble, family, but I hope I've tried to give a little bit of clarity to my
Now,
point.
you was a rambler, sis. You didn't never.
Yeah, that's
You was
what's up.
keeping it real. Just to answer on something you said as far as the men, you took it to the men. When you said the men, you said you don't feel the men talk about or deal with their father issues enough, and that's real. And some of that could be from the mother, some of that could be the father, and some of that reason could be influenced by just people around because we teach the kid, a lot of people teach boys they ain't supposed to cry, they ain't supposed to have emotions. Boys feel like they look like suckers if they showing their emotions or get putting their issues out in front of their boys, and their boys start making fun of them. Oh, you soft. So it's a lot of things that got to do with us boys
You know, one
hiding.
There
hollering
is
out.
one positive.
Hold on, Alvin, goddamn.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I know you go keep going. Go ahead, bro.
You know what I mean? Our father issues. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard for us to talk about our family issues, our mother issues, our father issues, any issues that have to do with our family orientation as far as elders being in the youngest life. So again, that falls on the parents. Two, self. You know, for me, I instill that in my kids, my son, and them those type of things to keep them away from that psychological eating of the brain. You know, I had to catch my son before he was 9. So, you know, between 7 and 8, you know, they trying to get his spirit and soul. So, you know, he was acting up in school and I had to go to the school and talk to him, his boys, all of them. And them boys ain't had no father in their life. Like, you know what I mean? Teachers was thinking me. Women with principals was like, yo, god damn, we need more daddies. The security guards, everybody used to be looking at me like, you call this nigga showing up though. Mama ain't showing up. This nigga show. You know what I mean? I'm on the scene. Like, yo, what's up? I'm in the class too. Like, yeah, you think I ain't gonna pop up? You know what I mean? Like, you think I'm not gonna pop up? You think just because I let it slide, you come home with a couple reports and I don't say nothing, I ain't gonna pop up at the school. So I popped up on the day that him and his friends and they supposed to be friends, but they fighting each other every day. And it's over little ill wills that our little young boys are going through without father figure. Come to find out them brothers' fathers ain't in their life. You know what I mean? And I said, I'll take all three of them out. I said, but in school, y'all can't hang together if y'all can't, you know what I mean, stop putting your hands on each other. It wasn't that they wasn't friends, but they they at that age fighting about things that they got, don't have, or I know this, you don't know this, or you be quiet. You know what I mean? No, you be quiet, or you trying to show off. You know what I mean? Oh, because my son's straight A. Trust me, he a straight A student, but he still had behavior problems because I was in jail for 5 years of his life. I left him at 2 months old. You feel me? I come home 5 years old. He 5. I gotta reprogram him. I gotta deprogram him. You know what I mean? And I gotta show him
So
that
do
whatever.
you need another 5 minutes or another 10 minutes or?
Nah, go ahead, go ahead. You wasn't even there for the conversation. Go ahead.
Nah, I'll just play with you,
Because the
Greg.
conversation is about that, but go ahead. Is
No,
about
you on topic. I was just saying if you need another 10 minutes, you know. So look, now one there is a silver lining. I actually do see a lot of young men with their kids nowadays, yo. You walk downtown, I see a lot of more fathers with their kid. I think the situation is actually getting better. You know, I don't know what happened in the 80s. It's like the 80s is kind of like the black man dark ages, man. It's like for some reason pops just decided to just be like, you know what, I don't need to be around my kids. Like between the 80s, like the crack epidemic and all that. But now a lot of their children are grown and they're like, I don't want to be like my pops, right? So then they start being in their kids' life. So as much as it might be sad, like how it went, but I think it's actually getting better nowadays.
okay.
At least over here, I think.
Okay, so the topic was mothers and black babies. What do you mean, Spice? Because you know you had to change the title like 3 times. Black mothers, black babies.
No, saying black woman raising black boys, or
Oh, black
and
mothers
how it
raising
affects
black babies.
black boy, yeah, black boys, and how it affects their adulthood and us as a community. So obviously, I'm trying to get to the meat of like whether like 90%, whether it's to do with more with in house at home, and or is it
You
more
know,
the community? You understand? Like, where's it coming
yeah,
from? Because I'm like, obviously I'm
I
saying
got you.
from my experience, and like I said to you, there was a woman on Instagram, she was talking, and there's a condition where obviously where boys come overly attached to their mums, to the point like they were saying like, oh, Mom, I want to marry you, like I want to marry you, and all these like inappropriate. You understand? It's like it's hard to
Yeah.
keep the balance of. You understand? Because obviously you
Yeah.
have a very nurturing thing, but I'm trying to figure out and understand how much it affected us. You understand? And is that
Yeah.
kind of effect cause and effect of like the disconnect between men and women in the community, and how honestly how you being males, how you raised up, how you feel it affected you in your adulthood. You understand? So we can
Exactly.
understand. You understand?
Yes.
We're getting
Yes.
to the
Yes.
meat
Yes.
and potatoes of the. You understand? Because I feel like I
Yeah.
said, I feel like we need to not shy away from the things that are pained us in order for us to be able to find solutions and go forward. You understand?
Right.
So
That's a
we're gonna
fact.
so we're gonna debate this out all the way. So obviously, just as much as the mother's
So,
been on here,
so I
the
wanted
men
to
have
ask you
yeah.
earlier. I wanted to ask you earlier where you started that on the other show. Everybody kept talking. I was trying to get you to. I heard you talking about your kids and your baby father, but I didn't. I didn't hear if he's in their life. You allowed him in their life. Is
He's
he
allowed to be in their
away?
life,
Is he
but
dead?
he's not consistent in what he needs to do. And obviously, I think that it does. Even though I'm not saying women cannot raise a child by themselves, but I think it's the nuclear kind of understanding of the man being there is very vital to them. I can see myself that
Yeah. So you one of
it
the
affect
mothers.
it
You
yeah it affects them. You understand? And I think we shouldn't
yeah.
overlook that. You understand? Regardless, no one's not trying to take away from the mother or the woman. You understand? Or the
Right.
single father, if we want to flip it on the other side. But
Right.
obviously, I'm just trying to get to the point where we need to understand how it affects. You get me, the cause and effects, and how it's affecting us as a collective. You understand? Even though we all live
Yeah. I know. I asked you
separated
that
in a
for a
house.
reason.
Yeah.
I asked you that for a reason because I wanted to know: are you hindering his visitation, or is it just him?
No, I would never do that. Like I haven't got
Okay,
nothing
okay.
like
So
because
then it's
obviously
just him.
it's not
So
about me. It's
so
about my
it's just him as an
yeah,
individual. But
yeah.
majority, from I don't know, from what I've seen around me, I've seen a majority. It was the women when I was coming up that was pulling away from the men and pulling the kid away from the man. For my situation, my mother kidnapped me from my pops at 9. You feel me? They got divorced at 5 when I was 5, but their divorce started a mental, emotional breakdown within
Yes.
myself. At that early age, at 5, I knew what was going
And that
on.
is what I'm trying to make. That's
You,
what I want. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go with it.
yeah, I know
How
that's
it
where you trying
actually
to go.
affects
Exactly. Go
them
ahead.
and how it affects you now, because you need to understand that there's adults that are operating in a childlike mentality because of the trauma that they've had as a child,
Facts.
and
Facts.
obviously because of the effect of mentally and emotionally, you understand, of not having that parent, or
Yeah, I
or
got
the
blind
or the
spots
conf-
because
the
of that. Yeah.
or the confusion between the mother and father. And that's not to take away from the mother or the father. It's just obviously just going. You understand? Like I said, we just need to get to. Like I said, I think that we need to really unpack this pain and this trauma, and get me, and really understand. You won't understand how it really affects you until you hear from each other. You understand of your personal experiences, because obviously I feel like we do have a lot of things in common, whether it's be it here in the UK or the US. So I'm just trying to get to the oversight, and you made a great point how it affected you mentally and emotionally. You understand, and how that affects us now as adults and as a community, because it's very easy to say, oh, it's outside, but what I'm trying to say to you, the emotional state and your emotional state and your mental state starts from inside the house, and how it's, you get me, because we all affect each other. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get to understand from your everyone's perspective how it's affect them and how they're dealing with it, and then obviously come to some type of solution. You understand what I'm saying? So go ahead, Gregory. So how did that really actually emotionally and mentally affect you, and how has that affected you raising your child in a current climate that we're in? You understand? Gregory, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Spice. I heard you. Um, you know, I was born in the '70s, so I was born 1970. So, the first 5 years was the Brady Bunch, Jackson Fives, not the Brady Bunch. We was the Jackson Five because you know what I mean. They like it was things going on, and I say when I got five and they divorced, that changed. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, we in one apartment together. Next thing you know, I'm at my aunt's house and my pop's banging on the door late at night. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking we just over there chilling. You know what I mean? My pops come banging on the door. He like, yo, I want to see my son. And you know what I mean? She like, you ain't gonna see him, this and this and that. So I came running downstairs, crying and shit. And I jumped in his arms and shit. So they like, yeah, well, we ain't getting back together. I'm staying here. I'm getting my own place. This and this and that. All that situations. But I'm screaming and yelling the whole time. I'm crying. And from that moment on, I started getting black spots, I think. Like
Wow.
memory loss. Like shit got blotched from there. Cause you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then moving into my grandmother's house. I mean, my aunt's house, my grandmother was there, and my cousins was there. So this is the time, like when Al was saying, you come in the house, you see a bunch of people living in a two bedroom, and it's like 10 people. Yeah, we did that, bro. We did what the Meccas and everybody else did, for our people to get up out of it till they got to where they got to. Cousins sleep, 10 of us in one, 7 of us in his foot in my face. I'm into that situation now. Then damn, I don't want to go that deep, but people in my family, they playing with each other. They kids, but they teenage kids, and they frolicking with each other. You feel me? And I
Yeah.
catch that.
And
So
this is
now
what I'm
my
trying to.
life is
Yeah.
drawn
Go
into
on.
a whole nother world now because of this separation. And I ain't understanding it. You know what I mean? As a child. You feel me?
Yep.
I'm understanding it, but not truly overstanding it. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
I'm picking up things, perverted things. Perverted things are happening, and I walk in on things, and things happen to yourself as a child. You know what I mean? So I don't know. My mother gets her own, and I start school, and next thing you know, I'm just the Tasmanian devil. Emotionally, it destroyed me to the point where I was just like 7, 6, 9 years old running around the projects when I was on a school night. 12 o'clock, I'll go from house to house. As long as you let me stay at your crib, I'm there because at my house ain't nobody there but my grandmother, my teenage sisters and brothers. Now we got our own shit. But my mother's doing 2 shifts. I see her when I'm going to school, not when I'm coming home from school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while I'm at the cousin's house, I'm being called a poodle and a dog. And I'm like, why I'm being called? No, my pop's being called a dog and I'm being called a poodle. Back then it was songs when shit like that happened in your family. Sticks and
Yep.
stones don't break my bones. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Your dog, your father's a dog. He's a dog on the corner, peeing on the hydrant. You know what I mean? It's shit like that. And you the puppy. You the sick little ugly black puppy. You know what I mean? Looking like your
Yo,
pops.
real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, Gregory.
Yeah.
Gully God just joined, and the ladies is leading the conversation. Gully, about black mothers raising black babies, its effect on the community. Um,
The black brothers,
is it
black
good or
babies,
bad?
and the adults. Yeah. What it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
they could
just
tell you.
Yeah. From a child until you becoming an adult, how did it emotionally affect you? Whether you was raised with parents or you was raised with a, but we really focus on single parents. I think
Yep.
black
Or
mother.
that mother-son kind of dynamic, you understand, and how it affects, and then
Yeah,
how
and that's what
that
it turned
dynamic kind of
into.
affects you going
Right.
into adulthood. You understand? So we're not just talking about your own experience. We were talking about what
Right.
also what we see within our community. You understand? Friends, cousins. You understand? So we're trying to trying to break it down and get oversimplification of how that affects you as an adult. Because right, like I said, right now, even as adults, some of us are not operating correctly, and obviously that affects
Yeah.
how we mentor and how we're role models, and the village dynamic as well. You understand? So in order for us to operate as a village, we need to there needs to be like little like organization of the confusion of of the breakdown of
Yeah.
communication. And I think that's where it comes from, you understand, because like I said, it's really hard because and the ideology of, because certain things are happening, people think that it's like the norm, you understand, so they're not
Yeah.
really thinking that it's affecting us as greatly as it is, you understand. That's just from
Yeah.
the way I see it. So
That's a fact.
so
And, and at the time, my mother's not. She's not nurturing me. She's not. She's not telling me it's gonna be all right. She's not telling me, you know what I mean, what's taking place. She's not. You know what I mean. She's trying to overshadow with probably with buying me whatever I want, or taking me to the circus, or taking me to the Wizard of Oz on Broadway. You know what I mean, for my birthday, stuff like that, throwing parties for me, and mentally and psychologically, it wasn't doing nothing for me. I was getting worse and worse, as the time went on. And my mother, my brother and my grandfather died, and she decided to move back down south. So my father took me on a trip to see my brother in Chicago, and they moved while we was gone. And they was arguing on the phone. So now I'm like, I can hear them arguing on the phone. I can hear him saying, "Well, I'm not bringing them." And she's like, "Well, you're gonna bring them because we leaving tomorrow." And he's like, "Well, we gonna probably be here like 2 more days. If you going, you going. But I'm not bringing him back to this date." So when we got back, she was gone. Like a year or two later, she came and kidnapped me and took me down south. You know what I mean? So now that throws another loop in my head. So at the same time, like I said, I'm being tortured because I look like my father, but my mother's not nurturing me. She's only trying to cover up my scabs with, like I said, material things, a lavish life, uh, um, the average life that youth my age at that time, wasn't having. You know what I mean? A lot of people, families was fucked up, you know what I mean? Or a lot of people didn't have as much as others did. I was the type of kid would take stuff off my back. You know what I mean? But that led me to the streets. That attitude, and I gained a resentment against my mother because on this side of the family, no one loves me. I feel like everyone on that side loves me on my father's side. You know what I mean?
Hey,
This,
hey, yo, Gregory, what's good, man?
what's good. At the same
We
time,
we still
my
tackling
father.
the same subject?
No, at the same time, my father. They'll fill you in. Hold on, bullet. At the same time, my father showed me how to be a man because my father had 18 kids. You know what I mean? That we knew of. I was the baby. And I was the baby on my mother's side. She had 5. You feel me? And I saw my father take care of all his kids, whether he had different wives, different women, whatever. Even me, took me to skip rocks. So imagine how I'm feeling when she pulls me from that as to when I'm with my other side of the family. They remind me how much a dog my father was, and my mother's bigging it up because she's like, I ain't letting you talk to this nigga. You ain't never going, you know what I mean? Like, fuck him. Whatever. But my father was an old man, you know what I mean? My father was 49 when I was born. My mother was 29. So around this time, my father's like, you know what I mean, 50 something years old. You know what I mean? So he got sick after that. And I'm hearing this news while I'm down south. So mentally, it had me in a hate love relationship with my mother. At the same time, it had me in a hate love relationship with my family. You know what I mean? And most of all, I was doing the damage to
What's good,
myself.
everybody? What's good?
All I knew how to do was strike out. I couldn't
Good,
strike
man.
at my mother. How you doing, brother? I couldn't strike at my mother. You know what I mean? At times I did have arguments with her about my father, but I didn't ever strike out at my mother. You know what I mean? And along the line, that led me to the streets when I never had to go to the streets. You know what I mean? I could show you pictures of me playing baseball and baseball uniforms, but I was a terror in the streets, though. You know, and I was a terror in school, though. I was coming home with straight F's from school. I didn't care. I was like, fuck life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I felt like my mother uprooted me and did something to me, and that did something to me up into my adulthood to where I had to learn that. I had to learn to forgive my mother for being a person and doing the best that she could to raise a boy on her own, and everything she did was she thought was for the best for me and the betterment for me. And no matter how much tribes and tribulations and emotions and twists and turns I went through in that life struggle up until where I'm straight now in my life, because it took me to 35 to get to that point to realize that I played a part along with all that shit, and that was just my life, and that's how I learned to be the man I am today, because all my kids and anyone that know me will tell you I'm a man. You know what I mean? I'm a real dude. I always was. I always carry myself as a man with man mannerisms. But if you strike me wrong, it was fire. You know what I mean? That was it. But everyone would tell you though, I'm just a humble, peaceful, quiet dude though. But I had to learn how to cope with my emotions and fix those things. And a lot of programs did that for me. A lot of programs did that for me. Me getting caught up in crack charges, selling crack, and OGs telling me you use go to a program. Me going to program learn taught me how to deal and cope with those emotions, and at the same time understand them, and at the same time be able to release them. So as me still being a street dude, I participated in something that most street people wouldn't participate in. They would be hard rocks in a group, whereas I would be a hard rock, but I still would expose myself like I'm doing right now. Because if had I not, I would have probably done worse to people in my life, because I really wanted to hurt a lot of people. From a young age, I really wanted, all I saw was, you know how people say, all I saw was blood. You know what I mean? See, all I saw was blood. All I saw was me putting my hands on somebody else. All I seen was me acting out. All I seen was me pulling knives on my big brothers. You know what I mean? Like fighting, like ain't
Yo,
nobody, you ain't my father.
you
You
say
ain't
not
my
a music
father. You ain't my father. You ain't my father. Different men in and out of my mother's house. You're not my father. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to some kids, you know, it's
Yo, Gregory,
compared
yo, you sound like a
compared to
old
some,
school New York nigga, bro.
I am compared to some
Yeah,
niggas
cause you
that
keep
never
saying
had a
not a mean
father.
and shit. Yo,
Yeah, know what I mean? Most dudes ain't never had a pops.
yo, your story is deep, bro. But I'm telling you, man, you killing me with that old school shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's, and when I was in, because when I was going through that at that age, that's what we were saying. Know what I mean? That was the favorite shit in New York at 86 in the 80s when I'm
Yeah,
selling crack. Know what I mean?
yo, how old are you, my nigga?
I'm
How old are you?
48. I'm
Oh
48.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I remember sometimes, my nigga, a nigga would have like a whole fucking paragraph and it's full of, nah, I mean, yo, that used to have me dying,
I
bro.
was just about to say that next. I used to hate it. Actually, I used to didn't like it. I ain't used to like facts. It was a lot of things, just like a song I didn't like. But so many people saying it so much around you, you adapt, you break, as in Rome, you do, you know, to speak to them on their level. Because when you try
Adapt
to
to your
speak to them on,
environment.
yeah, because if you
Uh,
try to speak to them on this level, 9 times out of 10, they gonna tell you get the fuck out their face and
I,
get the step in,
Hell
nigga.
yeah.
Where you from, dude? You know what I mean? Now, if I'm standing on my square and I'm like, nigga, I'm from right here in these houses. What you talking about, nigga? My name is Notorious. You better ask about me. You know what I mean? And it'll be a different respect. And because other people start walking up like, oh shit, you don't know who that is? Nigga, that's the OG such, or that's such and such. Nah, bro. He ain't like that. He was one of the good ones. He showed us love. You feel what I mean? I could walk in my hood today. There's a lot of people can't walk in their hood, bro. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people can't go around their areas because of the felonious, hypocritical shit they did in their neighborhoods. They fell
What
into
hood
the
you from?
woes. They fell into their emotions. They fell into their egos. They fell into the style. You know what I mean? They fell into the bullshit that the LGs felt, or the LGs these days fed them.
Yo, what hood you from, bro?
I'm from Shaolin.
Oh, you
Oh
from
Oh, he
wow.
Staten
from
Island?
Staten
Oh,
Island.
yeah. That
Now
makes a lot
Body
of
Bright
sense.
Slaughterhouse's finest.
Okay, so you
So
grew up in
from
Method Man and
Shaolin.
Xera and shit.
Yeah, that's my son. That's my right hand. So you see what I'm saying? I grew up with these dudes as we was walking that life trying to do a different thing though. We really was living that life. Damn, them niggas wasn't never. That's why they got so much fame because they really lived that life, bro. And they was
Those are
straight.
like the realest niggas out of fucking
They was
Staten Island.
exposing their realness. Who at that age, Raekwon saying, nigga, they smoke crack, nigga, smoke wools. My mans and them really was
Or
smoking crack. I had 14-year-old niggas that I hung with around me that really smoking crack, bro.
That's crazy.
That was really respected, knock you out in the hood, and next day they was on that pipe. And they was only 15, 14, 16, 17, bro. 18. Bro, because anytime they brought a drug in our neighborhood, if you do the history, it always went to the teenagers first. We easy to be the guinea pig. As long as we escape reality.
Yeah, but
What
smoking crack though?
Yeah, back then that
did
was the
they have
bro.
crack in
Back
the
then that
UK?
shit was like throwing coke, like down south niggas smoke boom. Bro, that's like throwing coke on your weed. Back then, we ain't know that. We see before crack there was bass. Bass didn't have them doing that. But when they seen the Ready Rock, they thought it was the same shit. But they got addicted once they hit that bitch. It was a different blast. Then niggas started mixing the weed with meth. I mean, the weed with dust. So you feel me? That added a different additive now. Now dudes smoking not just weed, we smoking decal. We smoking weed with dust. So them dudes was in a young era where it was cool, nigga, if you lit up a wooly in a party, bro. Nobody was gonna do it. Wasn't until dudes started looking like Pookie. It didn't happen that fast. Everyone didn't turn into Pookie so fast
Yo,
because we still
Pookie,
had
man, that
love for
nigga's
each other. You still got a
We're
pack.
hold
You
on. We're
still got a
kind of
pack.
going off. We're
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of going
sorry,
off.
Spice. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're kind of going off topic slightly. So I was gonna ask Gully, how do you think I don't know what your situation and how
I
you
grew up
feel
both of my
about
parents, so I can't
okay.
really speculate too much. But like I said
But
before, like me growing like both my parents and we came here, I mean, like they were just at work 24/7. So I basically had to raise myself damn near. Cause I had my two sisters, and when females get to a certain age and they get boyfriends, it's like they just caught up with them clown ass niggas. You
mm-hmm.
feel me? And my other brother, he just stayed the fuck back in Guyana. And I was just up here. But I was in the streets though. You feel me? Cause parents working all day.
But
I do my
it don't
homework.
have to be an actual experience, but from what you see, how do you think this type of like growing up and then how like you can have like you can have your brethren that have been raised in single parent home. How do you think it affected them, and how do you think it affected people? You get
Well,
me?
they turned to gangs and stuff. You feel me? They turned to gangs, but they wasn't assholes and shit. They loved their female more stronger. They was looking for that figure, but that's where the gangs came in. You feel me? Like the OGs from the gangs, they took us under their wing and they showed us how to hustle, how to do certain things and shit. You know, some of them guys, some of them turned out good. Some went to jail. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Yeah,
funny
we
situation.
became y'all OGs, and that's crazy. And I was like us, we was young kids raising young kids. Because
That's a fact.
most people parents was all smoking crack or doing dope. You know what I mean? Or and the ones that wasn't, they was so that was a woman scorn era, and they was really on that nigga. You ain't never gonna see. I ain't fucking with you. Like
But
get away
now, you
from
know what
here.
I noticed
And I
now?
think women need to stop that I think that was a big problem. Like that's why I brought my mother up because she did that. Women need to whatever you did, whatever happened between you and the man, you keep that between you and the man.
That's
Stop
a fact. I was just
filling
about to
these
say that
kids'
shit, bro.
heads with these lies about their fathers and
That's a
stop
fact.
keeping
That's a
these
fact.
dudes from their
You see,
fathers.
let me just quickly interject because I do
Go
agree
ahead.
with what you're saying, yeah. But all I want to add at that point is that is causing that. You know, what I mean, that's a little bit of cause and effect, because without even trying to go into your story, there must have been like a woman doesn't just start wilding out on a man for no reason. You know what I mean?
Some of
Generally,
them do, sis. Some of
That's
them
why I
do,
said, woman,
especially in New
hold
York.
on.
saying
Just because I
I'm
dogged
saying
you out, I cheated on you, I got someone else pregnant, I
It could be
beat your
petty stuff.
ass.
It could be petty stuff. You know what I mean?
hold on a
Well,
minute.
maybe if I beat your ass, that's different. You know what I mean? If
No,
I
but
beat your
for example, yeah, and this
ass
is
would
what I'm
you
saying.
would have to get visitation rights through the courts or someone come get your
Some females
child
are
pregnant.
spiteful. They spiteful.
But
You get
a
if you're
Okay,
lot
not
of
all right,
doing.
but
females
see,
in that era did that to us. They took our kids from they knew that was gonna hurt. A lot of our mothers did that. A lot of our mothers picked up, moved on when they got into that woman's lib. When that stepping on up
here
for the
we
women
go. I
happened,
knew it wasn't gonna take long for this to come. Go on.
yeah, when that
When they got
stepping up,
into the woman's lip,
my mother was one of them stepping up women. You feel me? And that left me in the house to raise myself.
Some
And then
females are
you
very
bringing,
spiteful.
listen,
You know,
then
they very spiteful.
you talking bad about my father because of your personal gripe. When I seen him raise his children without none of the fuckery that you putting on his name. That's you and his beef. Why I gotta suffer? So I gotta listen to Willie Joe you just brought in here, this nigga Wino from the bar, or this nigga that got the lowest income job. Dudes ain't even on your level. I had to deal with that. Like, call him your father or call him pops. What you mean? I know my father.
That's a fact. Yo,
That's
you see some
different.
females sometimes
But
they
there's
mind be
kids
very
that
corrupted.
don't
Like if
know
they
their
feel a
father
man
at
is not doing
all.
something that they want him doing, or if they be around some of their friends that be slutting out and be getting shit and all that, they will leave a man for a nigga who got fucking bread and take his kid away from him. You feel me? I got mad brothers right now. They paying child support, and it's basically on their baby moms. They don't want you going in the street to make money and bring back, but they want all these extravagant things. You feel me? No man supposed to be inside the crib holding the fucking door. People supposed to be in the streets working and take care of the family. You feel me? A lot of females are spiteful out here, especially in America, B.
Hi guys, I'm just sorry to say I've been away, but I've been listening. I was like sorting out my daughter and my kitchen and whatnot, but I'm back. I'm
It's
here.
so
I've got
good. It's so good.
you guys
Bless,
got my
bless.
full attention.
So if
Okay, so
so
Miss
this is like
Nanita.
give your perspective of how you.
Yo,
Miss
Gregory.
Nanita. Miss Nanita.
Hold on, bullet, 1 minute.
I'm
Miss
here, man.
Nanita.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
I'm only saying that because from your time to me, because you would be right, I would be right under you. You would probably be in the category of my mother and I'm a right under. But what I'm
Whoa,
but
whoa,
I said
whoa.
a right under.
Nah,
'Cause I
you
know
said
you
you
older
born
than me, right?
1970. You're a
You
bigger
older
man
than
than me.
me.
Just chill.
You older than me, right? No, what I'm saying is you older than me, right? That's what I can hear it in
No,
your
I'm
voice.
not, babe.
Nope.
You're not?
No.
You
No,
just
babe.
man mature. That's good. Well, what I was trying to
Yo,
say,
these people driving crazy out here, yo.
if you
The
was
fuck,
older
man?
than me, what I was trying to say is our era, being if you was by my age,
Yeah, man, I'm definitely with your era,
our era got
but
away
I'm not your
from.
mommy.
What I'm trying to say
Hey,
is no, that's it. What I'm trying to say
Russell.
is our era. What I was trying to make a point with you. If you was
no,
older,
Gregory, I hear you, though, brother. No, big
if
and
you was
serious.
older, I was trying to make a point with you.
Shut.
You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
And what I was
I
trying to
over
say
in
is
terms.
my era, because of the things
Yo.
we was going through, because of the divorce rate was going high in the set coming to the
Yo.
80s from the 70s.
Who's saying yo?
That
Can't you hear someone's talking?
Sorry.
we in that generation started changing the older ways, because now we're just showing people from our hurt and pain. We just telling the youngins like, yo, listen, and they seeing us out there. We like, yo, listen, man, your moms and pops smoking or whatever. You and your sister, you got to take care of feed your sister. You better grab this pack, take this to the store, do this, hold this,
Yo,
and
you gotta be the dumbest fucking driver in the world, blood.
and
I know
I'm
my
saying our generation guided the kids away from that because of our scars and pains from the breakups or what we saw happening in the demographics of our area. I can't speak for the UK. I can speak for the United States, though.
Hey, Gregory.
I know it took place through the 70s, through the early 80s, all over from the East Coast, West Coast, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
I could
A lot of
take
these
you
single
through
mothers out here is
take you
fucking
to their
crazy in their
history.
mind too, you know. But
I could take you to Arkansas when it reached there. You know, I go through it because I was living it. I was
That's
involved.
that crack era.
I was involved in it. So what we not saying that we saying that had we been because God is apparent and started changing in the 70s. I don't after Martin Luther King and them got killed, it was different. You know what I mean? They stopped teaching us a lot of things. They didn't want us involved in a lot of that shit. You know what I mean? That Black Panther, none of that movement stuff. Parents just wanted you to go to school, get an education, or get a scholarship or something. You know what I mean? And something. You know what I mean? They wasn't, I don't know what happened with them, man. I don't know. And then they started using drugs and it was a wrap. It was a wrap once they started using the drugs. And a lot of them started moving out of the hoods and moving back down south or to the richer areas or the middle class areas. And the slums became the slums. The ghettos became the ghetto. New Jack City, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's real. That scenery in that movie is real. Imagine walking out your building to go to school and you see needles in them fucking plastic caps and them fucking bottles everywhere. Crack valve.
yeah, them shit was all over, bro.
Okay, but do you think, like, obviously, do you think it actually really affects a child being in a one-parent home? And do you think it contributed?
Yeah, a lot of my friends became killers.
Do you think it contributes to the demasculinization of black men? And how is that affecting
Women lack
because
the knowledge of masculinity.
Bullet, can you just stop and have some respect?
Man. Exactly, have respect, man. Come on, like, because obviously you don't have to be in that exact situation. Because obviously we are all in this community and we can see the things that are going in the community. We have family, sisters, you get me, cousins that might have been raised in a one-parent home or with just their mother, and obviously seeing how it affects. So obviously this is what we're trying to get to the nook and cranny of, to understand where it comes from. So I'm posing the question: do you think being raised by just a mother, or being over like a boy just having his mother with just being nurtured by his mother, or lack of, contribute to this emasculation of men, and how does that affect their adulthood? And
well, you say this math, you mean get them, they be softer or some shit like that, or what you mean?
Like this.
Oh, no. I think, me personally, I think, in my opinion, I think like when a man grow with his mother,
or
you know, some of them
imbalance, and you know,
yeah, some of them probably be like a little more like softer, and they not be all that fully masculine. But it goes both ways, because if you grow with your father, I'm not saying you're not gonna tell you to be like, yo, be a bully, be this, be that. But in my opinion, let me get the fucking top, is that I don't, not all of men, not all of the men, and they love females more stronger because, you know, they don't want a female to go through what their mother went through. You feel me?
Yeah.
No, I feel the women.
That's my opinion too. I don't want a female to go through something that my mother went through.
Hey, Spice, let me explain something, because I really want to touch this topic again. And I said this on the last video, but I basically got to come and bring the same topic again. Women lack the knowledge of masculinity. You cannot be a mother and trying to raise a man and teach them what a man is supposed to do. This is the facts. Women look
But what is a man supposed to do, though? That sounds stupid.
Hold on.
Women, hold on. Women, hold on. No, listen. Women look at us. Hold on. Let me finish.
Hey, one at a time, yo. Go ahead,
Women
Gotti.
look at their sons, and if he's the oldest son, as what the husband is supposed to be, the protector of his brothers and sisters and his mother. She look at him just like she will look at her husband. Okay, this is true facts here.
But you're supposed to
So
do that.
no, you're not
Older brothers
supposed.
are
That's
supposed
too
to take
much
care of his
pressure.
siblings. What do you?
That's too much pressure you putting on a child.
Yeah, I seen a lot of strong black mothers that raised their sons to be real men in the world.
Nah,
Through all,
but
listen,
Gregory,
through all that too. I'm not gonna
1
take
minute
away. Listen,
bullets,
listen,
man.
listen. Some of my sisters was were one of them. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I seen women teach kids, they boys, that structure you're saying. Teach the older son to watch over his sisters and brothers and taught him the authority. Same as
Real
Tupac.
talk.
Same as Tupac. You know, every black woman wasn't weak, bro. Masculine either. My sister was throwing niggas through the bar windows and knocking niggas out and robbing niggas. So I ain't gonna say that. I know
What
some
about some females
masculine
that was
women
born
from
around
that
only
time,
brothers?
bro.
You think they can't raise a
From
man?
Queens to
Like,
Staten Island that was
Fact.
putting niggas
You
out.
know what it is? Bullet,
no,
I've
it's
come to the
not. It's not.
conclusion that you have a very low opinion of women. You
Yeah,
have
No,
a
he
I
very
does.
don't.
low opinion of
If it
black
was a
women.
woman that was running Harlem,
No, I
Yeah?
don't. I
Bullet.
do not.
No, you do, man. You do.
No, I
You
do not.
do.
What
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying is
do.
the
You
truth.
do, man.
No,
You do.
what I'm
You
saying
do.
is the truth, and this is why I tell people: read the book
It,
"Countering the Conspiracy
it's
to
a
Destroy
very,
Black
it's a
Boys."
very, it's a, sorry? So, like I
Read
said, give me an example. Give me some examples of what
what
it
I'm
is that
saying. Is,
this woman can't do. Give me
what
some
I'm trying to say
examples.
is that do not put pressure on an older
Bullet,
child.
give me
That's your
some
oldest son.
examples. You make
yo,
these
bullets. Let me
massive
tell you something,
statements.
bro.
I'll
I
give
have,
you
I
an
have, I
example.
grew up with
I'll
both
give
of
you
my
an
sisters,
example
bro.
right.
You know what I'm trying to
Hold on.
tell you?
it
I'll
has
give
to
you an
do with
example right now.
parenting
I'll give you an example
skills.
right now.
Parenting
Hold on.
Go on,
skills.
go
I'll
on,
give you an
go ahead.
example
One
right
at
now.
a time, please. Let him go through, bro. Let him land.
All right. So basically, if you a mother, non ether, and I'm gonna say it like this: if your child is your oldest son, and you may have other children, okay, and you look at him to be your protector and your protector of his siblings, that's not his job to do. That's the man, that's the father's job to
That
protect those
is
kids,
not
to
an
protect the mother.
example, Bullet, because
Gotti, you
the
a fool.
scenario you describe is a similar scenario in a two-parent family, Bullet. If the eldest, but I come up in a two-parent family, I have an older brother. He protected his younger one. It's just simple like that. So that's not a good example, man. So
That's
try
real
something
talk.
else.
So you say so you saying it's okay for the mother to put all
Pull
that
it,
on her
pull it,
son, put
pull it,
the
pull it,
weight of
pull
the
it,
world on her
pull it.
son.
So you won't protect your
Hmm.
mother, Gotti? You won't protect your mother?
I protect my mother. I love my
All
mother.
right.
I
So what the
protect her
fuck is you
every day.
talking about then?
But I'm not going. I'm not going. I think my mother is not selfish enough to have me trying to take care of the family when I know that's my father's
Yo,
job.
Gotti, yo,
I'm just
wish,
being
yo, I'm telling you, you're a real
transparent.
simple, you know, blood. For real, my
No,
nigga.
but
Chill, chill, Gully, chill.
I don't agree with him entirely, but I understand where you're coming from, and this is what I said before, is the fact that sometimes because of the lack of a father, some women do look to their children to take the
Thank you.
role of the man in the
Thank you,
house. Is what he's
Spice.
trying to say, but the way he's delivering it is the problem, and
What?
this is a fact where he's like put where because I believe that most of us had to grow up too too
Early?
too early and kind of had our childhood
There you go,
kind of
Spice.
taken away from us, and that's because obviously we've had the male child has had to like take up the role of
That's what I was
of
trying to
of
get to,
But
Spice.
isn't it
of
There you
called
go.
yeah.
becoming a man though? Isn't it called becoming a man? Because a
There
lot of
you go,
times in the
Gully.
Yeah,
Caribbean,
but
and you got
yeah,
sons, they gotta, they gotta,
but that's
they
what I'm
gotta
saying. But we
plant. They
have to
gotta.
be
Go ahead.
careful of we have to be careful of obviously certain things happening and then assimilating that with that. Obviously, it has some type of normality because, like, what I'm trying to say is obviously there's balance in everything, and obviously I think he's trying to highlight is obviously sometimes when there's a lack of a role male involved, some women do find themselves putting the child in that kind of spot, in that, you understand what I'm saying. And I was talking about how um there was a lady who was talking about children obviously having a really, like, I was talking about me, like my son used to tell me, oh, I'll love you and I would marry you, you get me, and there is a kind of like a condition for it. So I understand where he's coming from. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? I'm not saying that all women do it, and you understand, and even the fact that you're saying obviously the elders to protect the children. No, these things we can't forget that some of these a lot of these things are learned behaviors as well. You understand what I'm saying to you? So that's
And
where I
and,
think
and,
that's where
and,
that's
and,
where I
and,
think
and
he's coming
Spice is
from.
another thing. And another thing, Spice, we gotta stop allowing the media to perpetrate black men as they not shit and they don't take care of their kids. This is why I look at people like Oprah and you watch movies like The Color Purple that basically stereotype black men as abusers, drunks, and all type of other propaganda BS that they put out there. You
No, but
understand?
you
It's black
can't.
men that want
Yeah,
to take care of their kids.
but you can't deny that we were because I was brought up in a domestic violence. You can't take away from the fact that that was something that was really um really big in many different societies. You understand? And it was also like also kind of normalized. You understand what I'm saying to you? So
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, yeah.
I
Definitely.
understand that, but obviously, we need to not try and like do like full blown generalization. The reason why I think everyone's had a problem with what you say is because you keep doing this like fallout generalization. You
No,
understand?
I'm not
Um,
attacking. I will never attack women because there's good women out here that do try their best to protect and nurture and be a mother to their children. But it's also, like I
but then
said, you
yeah,
need
what I want to go back to what Nanifa was saying and what Gotti was saying. Like they were saying, like they touched on what is it that a woman cannot teach a man to do. You understand? From a woman's perspective, what is man like masculinity? What is manhood? You understand? Because like I don't agree with the fact that some women say, oh, they're the man and the father. I do believe there's certain things that women can't. Not to say that it takes away from the child, but there's certain things that only a man can teach their boy Pickney. Not to, and I'm not saying that to take away from a woman. I'm not saying that's going to make, because like we already touched on, there's a lot of men that are raised by just their mum and they become outstanding,
But
like
give us an
black men.
example in Spice, because I'm still waiting for an example.
Well then, but I understand where you come from, because then we're gonna fall into like social constructs as well. I don't
hmm
like, so it's like it's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I can't really give an outward like um it depends on how you view manhood in it, and obviously that's something that's subjective to everyone in it. So I want to know from your point of view, what how you feel a woman cannot teach manhood. Like what from your point of view, what is manhood to you and what it
You
means.
asking Bullet, yeah?
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
asking. I'm asking you and Bullet.
For the man them.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm want to hear this still.
Yeah. So go
Start
go
with
ahead,
Bullet,
Bullet.
because he's the
No,
most
no, no,
vocal about it.
no. You go, sister. You go,
No,
sister.
go ahead, Bullet, because you said that there's certain things that a woman can't teach a man. So you obviously highlighted that.
Oh,
So go
oh,
ahead and
oh.
explain what the things that a woman can't teach a man that he most definitely needs to have a real male figure, a male role model. So you go ahead and give examples, because the panel would like examples.
Oh, she
Nani was
can't teach a
asking for
man. She
examples.
can't teach a man how to be very masculine. Okay, she can't teach a man to do what men are supposed to do. You know what I mean? When you
And
have
what
your
are
first,
men supposed to do? That's
I was
what we're
just
trying to
about to
get at.
ask that. I was just about to say,
okay,
what are men supposed to do?
or like I've been saying this on plenty of platforms, and I'm gonna continue to say this. Men is supposed to be the
Why are
leaders
you
of the
laughing?
household. No, because this because y'all always put me on the spot with this,
Because
No,
and
but
y'all
Bullet,
go,
you know
you
what it
gave
is.
us.
All now you've not given like a
I'll
constructive
give
thingy
you.
with
No,
your what.
I'm
Yeah,
All
gonna
you're
give you.
saying is
and
that a man's supposed to lead the house. What makes the man lead the house?
yes,
If
and you're saying a woman can't. opposed to
because
the other
he's the
side. So
provider and
the partners
protector.
are very strong words, and you're not giving examples. So that's what
No,
they're
I'm
they're
giving an
asking us.
example. All
All right,
right,
go
you
ahead.
need a man. You need a man to teach a man how to be a man. Okay, that's straight
So
like
how
that.
do you? So
Give
how
me
as a
some
man?
bullet
All
points.
right, all
Give us
right. So
some bullet points.
yeah, as a man, you're a man, right, Bullet?
Yes,
Do you have any children?
I have one son. Yes,
So you have a son. Perfect.
yes.
So how do you go about teaching your son to be a man? What do you do with your
I
son?
mean, I don't have a relationship with him because me and the mother don't have a
Oh,
relationship.
okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you had a relationship with your son, what would, like Sister Naifa said, what would you as bullet points do as a man to teach your son that's going to grow into a man to be a man? So just give us some
Oh,
bullet
I
points.
teach him the pointers that my father never taught me. You know what I mean? Take care of
Which
your
is,
business. Taking care of your business. Making sure your
so
family's
you're
right.
gonna say to your son, take care of his business. He's gonna say, Daddy, how do I take care of my business? What does that mean?
I mean, that means take care of your family. Take care of your responsibility. Be accountable of your situations that you do out here. You know what I mean?
So
And
okay, that's one responsibility. Responsibility in what form? In which way? Give example.
I mean, responsibility in everything, your decisions, you know what I mean? Trouble. Basically, if you get into problems with a female, just know how to handle that situation. You know what I mean? Just like we could talk about sex. I'll give them the pointers of how to handle when you go about having sex. You know what I mean? That's what you got to tell your kids as a man, where he can understand it from coming from your point of view. A lot of boys is not going to tell their mother everything that a man will want to hear from his son. That's what I'm basically trying to say here. So y'all could jump on me about this, but like I told y'all before, man, the man is the leader, the protector, and the provider. That's
No,
simple and plain. The
yo,
woman is the
Gotti,
mother
yo,
and the
Gotti.
nurturer.
I seen women teach grown ass men how to be men. So what are you talking about?
Yeah,
But those,
this is
but
what I
hold on,
mean.
And you
Gregory.
know,
But
But
when
but
hold
you
you
know,
on,
say,
Gregory.
there was a time where a father raised their daughter how to judge a man and what a man is supposed to do and how he's supposed to be, right? So, and they saw examples of their fathers, and they taught their kids that. You know that, right?
Yeah,
And
we
they
know
teach
that.
grown ass men that, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, but we
Like they
know
say,
that.
P rules the world, right? P rules the world because behind closed door, a woman really running her man,
Yo, but
and she
but
get to say so.
yo, Gregory said this the same argument we had on Sun Channel, man. Yo, and I told you, son, you gonna
You
bring
know, I
me back
gotta
to that.
listen. I gotta come with it because I can't. Yeah, they're all women warriors out here, bro. A woman will teach you how to be vicious, bro.
No,
Ruthless, bro.
I'll say this. I'll say this.
Why does the woman lioness go get the mill?
I mean,
Why she
see,
the one that if he does everything and she's just supposed to watch the
you know
kid?
what, Gregory? Agree.
Why does
I'm
the
agree with
female lioness is the one that gets the food and the man
y'all.
just protects
Y'all
her?
gonna try to corner me in this, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this in the favor of the females on the panel. I say this: a man is nothing without a woman. We know this. You know what I mean? It's a lot of men that can't live without a woman. You got men that just can't go through their day without a woman in their household. So I'm not gonna sit here and say a man can't do everything without a woman. No, you know what I mean? That's just like a son. A son gonna love his mother because she's affectionate and she's loving and caring. So he takes on them traits. That's why you got a lot of men that's loving and caring. You know
But
what I
that don't
mean?
mean
But
she can't teach him how to be a man, though. What that got to do with her teaching
nah,
him how to
because
be a man?
a man gonna
Being
teach you
taught
how to
something
be
that's
aggressive.
different from
But a
our
man,
physical built and
Gregory, a
composition.
man gonna
Aggressive.
teach you.
So
A
that's what
man
a
gonna teach
father
you how to be
teaches.
aggressive.
How to be
All right,
aggressive.
a man gonna teach you how to be a man and how to stand up for yourself. You know what I mean?
So how would you teach your son that?
I'm gonna teach my son the way my father taught me to be
Which
aggressive
was what?
and be a man. Just be a man. Don't
So do
listen.
you do you think that you're an ideal man, Bud Pellet?
I think I am. You know what I
Did
mean?
she
I
just
think
call him
Tell
pellet?
me why. Tell me why. Tell me why you think you're the
you
ideal
calling
man.
me. You call me. Why you call me pellet for? Like every time. Like like come on. This
I'm sorry,
like
y'all. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
uh um. I think I'm the ideal man because I understand and I have self-worth in myself. You understand what I'm saying? And I know who I
What
am
do you
at the end of the day.
understand?
You know what I mean? And I don't have, and
What
listen,
do you understand?
yo, you always do this to me. Why she always do this to me? She don't never do this to none of you other brothers. She always pick
Because
on
no
me.
one doesn't talk as bombastically as you do.
Hey,
You
Bullet,
understand?
you ever heard that saying, the loudest one in the room is usually the weakest one in the room?
Nah, I'm not the weakest one because she always do this. This every day
Well,
on
stop
Listen,
being
Bullet,
so damn
yeah, stop
loud. Stop
making
being so
people
damn
think that.
loud. Yeah, stop being so damn loud. In other words, chill. You know, I always come at you real. Just chill then. Stop being so damn loud. Because if you was a dude who ran like, say you had your own island, like you said earlier, I think you'd be Nature Boy.
I don't have no problem with that either. I told you why I would do that. I
And
have no problem with it.
he in trouble right now, so you know what I
But
mean.
It's not
Boy is
even that,
different.
actually. Yeah, I am just asking him questions to the statement that he's made. So it's not even like I'm coming and trying to.
No,
he
you understand. Ashley,
need it. Trust me, he
done
need it.
no. Ashley, hold on.
Come on, bro.
She
Talk
done this. She did this to me twice on Prospect Channel. Okay, she always do this to me.
But she don't do shit to anybody else. Do she do it to anybody else?
No, she put me because she don't
Her
like
point
my
is valid
views.
though, bro. You gotta give
Yeah,
an example. You can't
there
just
you go.
say
Her
it.
point
You gotta
valid,
give
bro.
an
We had a
example.
topic. We
What a
was talking.
woman can't teach a man.
I was
You gotta
attacked
give an
by the
example.
women, by the sisters, because I said the black man is God.
Listen. We're on a grown platform, yeah. You've made certain statements. Now, I, as a woman, yeah, Carl, you have said on many occasions, as a woman, we're curious, no boy picnic. Yeah.
No.
Now you stop. You said it over and over again. So I'm like, cool. Yeah. So I'm asking you now, what is it in it? So now I'm trying to get into the rudiments of it.
Let me be honest, all right? And I'm gonna say this short, simple, and sweet. Okay. You need a man to raise a boy because you don't want him to have all too feminine traits. You have some boys that got so much feminine traits that it leads to this homosexuality that we dealing with right now.
But isn't that because his mother is allowing him to have feminine traits?
Yeah, because I was
His
raised by
mother
my mother.
You got mothers that
by my
baby
mother,
their
bro.
kids.
You got
and
to
that's
Bullets. I was raised by my mother, Bullets, and I ain't on thing woman
Yeah,
about
but
me.
Did
you're
your mother
saying it
baby you?
like all
Did
women.
your mother
You're
baby you?
saying,
Man, my mama was hard, but you said
you're
that you putting
saying
women in one category, bro.
Hold on, one at a time,
yeah.
please. Go
My
on,
bad.
Bonus.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to Bullets is that line, that's why I interjected. Just simply, you're like, oh, you got some men that have women traits, yeah, and they're feminine. That's because in that household, that's allowed. Feminine traits are. I've never been to Sister Spice's house, but I know her sons don't have no rascal feminine traits. Do you understand? That ain't happening. So it's down to the mother and the individual if your son has feminine traits, because you allow that. So you can't generalize and say all women give their sons feminine traits, because
But I
that is
know.
not true.
But hold on, fathers. Women do women do baby their boys. They baby their boys.
Women baby their children, full stop, whether it's a boy or a girl. You
Not
baby your
all
child.
women.
And
Not
I was
all
just
women.
coming on to say,
I
not
just told
all
you my mother
women,
ain't nurtured me.
not all women, and that's the word I was going to
She
use.
ain't
Not
baby
all
me.
women nurture and baby their children. Some women are very harsh. Some women don't show no love at all. Some mothers don't even say to their children, I love you,
And
or hug them,
that's
or
not
kiss
to say
them.
there is that's not to say there
That's
is
a fact.
that's not to say that there ain't women that are overly babying their children.
Listen, if you don't baby,
when you're
listen, I'm gonna
Hold
say
talking,
it
one
like
minute,
this.
Bullet, can
no,
you
but
hold
can I
on?
say, yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
go on,
Like
Spice.
over babying their kids, and that they do have like overly feminine like traits, but obviously I think like what Piner said, I think it depends on individuals and what's going on in how they're operating in their
Household.
in their household.
And they just may be more effeminate in their natural way. You've got youths growing up with their father that, you know what I mean? Like,
That's why I was
come
gonna
on, man.
say to Bullet, I
Yo,
find
Pellet, you sound
I
like
was
some chauvinist in a bedroom.
I was
I'm not
gonna
a
say that
chauvinist. You
Yeah,
say
you
you
need to.
do.
I was gonna say when you speak, Bullet,
Can you
yeah,
1 minute,
this
please.
is why when you come on the panels, right?
Go ahead, Finest. Finest.
She called you a chauvinist, Bullets.
Finest.
A male chauvinistic pig.
Okay,
By
Ashley,
the
from
way,
your point.
shout out
Oh,
to
For
all the
real.
strong single mothers who are always doing it, raising wholesome, well-grounded,
Sorry,
young
sorry,
men.
my sister rang me.
That's okay.
all right, go ahead, Finest.
No, go
You were
ahead.
saying?
Go on.
Hawaii.
I need to call my
Oh,
sister back. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right, then go
no,
ahead, Hawaii.
no, I was just thinking about this, and it's interesting that there's always this stereotype that says, being raised by a single mother, emasculates these young men. But I think, it depends on the situation, obviously. And then, if that parent is being a great role model, and I mean like helping their children, teach them life skills, and not babying them and giving them that opportunity to grow, but also take on some responsibility that's even needed for them so that they know how to tackle some tough situations. They know how to manage their emotions, or, de-escalate certain things in their life, and, conflict wise too, and how they deal with anger. I think that is so important, because you're initially just molding carbon copies of you. I'm not saying like we're, as a parent, you want to live vicariously to your children's life, but it's these type of situations when you're in that, you have to make sure that they're going to be setting an example down the road, and you want to break that cycle. So sometimes a lot of I know we don't have, everyone's different. We don't have a lot of the capabilities, some of us, because of our situation. But that effort you have to do, it makes children understand and appreciate where they're coming from, where
I agree.
the
I
struggles,
agree, Hawaii.
and the sacrifices that have to be made. But I think just focusing on these personality types that you think what a man is or what a woman should be just complicates our situation, because we're, some of us were not I say privileged enough, or fortunate enough to have other
Yeah.
family members in their lives that could be it like a peer support for them, or sort of like a big brother. Yeah. So I really commend all the single mothers out there that do everything, and those children, some of them have come out in a way that says, I appreciate what my parents have gone through, but
Yes.
more love and respect to my mom, because she taught me this, she taught me that, she made me the man I am today.
See, and that's not what, and I was, and I agree with
Well
Hawaii, and
said,
what I'm
Sister
trying to say.
Hawaii. Well
Now,
said.
let me explain something to the sister non-ether. Let me explain something. I never, because you
Make it
call me a
short and
male
sweet, please.
chauvinist. All right, okay, I'm not a male chauvinist. Let me please say this: woman is great people to have around. They motherly love, they nurture, they in tune you with your softer side. You know what I mean? That's how you learn how to deal with women. Okay. But my father, he taught me how to be a man, which is to be aggressive, have no emotion, lack none of that. But your mother,
Did
the
your
woman
dad
would
respect your mum, Pellet? Did your dad respect your mum?
we not gonna get into that, but
Hell no.
No, we are gonna get into it. Did your dad, because that's where you're getting your vibrations from, did your dad respect your mum?
I'm gonna say this, okay? My dad was a lover, okay? He
Dude,
had
I don't want to hear the narrative. I just want to hear yes or no. Did your dad respect your mum?
they had a good relationship. I'm just gonna leave it
That
at
ain't what
that.
she
They
asked.
had
Did your dad respect your mum?
They had a great relationship. What
That ain't
you
what she
want me
asked.
to say?
Did your dad respect
Respect
your
your
mum?
mom.
If I may, out of respect, because I think I know what the brother's trying to say. By the way, this brother Bernard,
They
this
No,
is
had
Benjamin.
they
man, don't say this.
Bird,
Say
thank you, brother.
Well, you
Thank you,
already know.
Bird. Thank you,
I think he's
Bird.
just trying to
Thank
say
you,
this because
brother.
I
Respect
had
your
something very
Salam,
sad to
dad.
brother.
say.
Salam,
Respect
My
your
brother.
mother.
parents had good times and bad times, but they're not together. But he do respect her, you know. But I think that's what he's trying to say.
Well, look how easy you were able to say that, Bernie. Yeah.
You
So
say
I'll go
yes.
back to
I
Pellet.
think you
Did
burned.
your dad respect your mum?
I don't understand. I'm not on trial, you know. So I'm gonna say this. They
Dude,
had a
dude.
great love and respect for each other. That's all I'm gonna say.
Say that
Good
again,
love.
Bob.
I'm also say they was in love at one time, and that's it. You know what I mean? People
Love doesn't
separate.
necessarily mean respect, Pellet.
Uh,
So so we'll start again. Did your dad? I mean, look, you can say, you know what, that's too much of a personal question, and I'd rather not answer. I will take that. You understand?
I just say they had respect for each other. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, they had respect for each other. Okay, that's it. That's good. That's good.
No, listen, Pellet. It doesn't bother me. You know, I'm only replying to your vibrations. You understand me? You're saying that your dad taught you how to be a man. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So then, do you respect women, Pellet?
I do. I do respect women. I respect women that respect themselves, though. You know what I
You
mean?
respect women that respect themselves. So what do you? So women that don't respect themselves, how do you treat them?
Oh, you know, you treat them like every other trash in the street. You
Oh,
know what I
I
mean?
see. So you don't try to help them then.
I can't listen.
You
If
just
you a
kick them
woman,
further, yeah.
listen. If you not a respectable, classy woman, I don't see what is my reason to having respect for you. And it's no
I
knocking,
see.
no shade, but it's just being
Okay. So
realistic.
all right then. Cool. So let's go along with that now. What do you think makes a woman become you know, unrespectable, Bullet?
Daddy issues.
Oh
Daddy
wow.
issues or man issues?
Oh, daddy
Oh.
issues, because it all starts from daddy.
Okay, it all starts from daddy. All right. Okay. So let's talk about daddy, yeah? Let's talk about the kind of daddy that you deal with or that you talk about. The daddy that scatters shot. Yeah? Scatter shot
Mm-hmm.
all about the place. Let's talk about that daddy. So that means that there's no permanent daddy in the house because he's scattered shot all about the place, and as such, he can never be a permanent fixture in that house. Now, I know you're a very intelligent young man, Pellet, and you know that a woman or a girl's first relationship primarily is with her father.
I know
Would you
that,
agree?
and that's why I said it. Yes, and that's why I said it's daddy issues.
Okay,
It
then.
comes from your daddy.
But if daddy has scattered shots all over the place, therefore daddy cannot be a permanent fixture in my house because daddy's got X amount of baby mothers all over the shop because daddy was being a man. You get me? He was being a man.
Say it again.
Spreading
Say it
his
again. Say it again. Say it again. He was being a what? Say it
Yeah, he
again
was
one more
being a
time.
man. Yeah? It was being a black man. It was being a stud. It was being a buck. It was still being the slave masters. You understand? Because remember, you know, Pellet, the slave master made you be a scattershot. You know your American history, right?
Yes, I know my American history.
So you know at one point you was a scattershot, right?
Where we going? The Mandingo? You talking about the story of Mandingo now, huh? With this,
I don't know
with
if you
him?
would call it Mandingo or Ingo, yeah. We just know that a point in time in history where the black
Yeah.
man was encouraged to go out and scatter his shot. You do know this, right?
Yes, I know this.
It's called a buck.
Okay, then. So do you think that was a good thing then, Mr. Pellet? Because I know you're all about the nation building and having bear pitting all over the place.
I look at it like this, okay? Before we got into slavery, and I told you this on the last video we did. Basically, we've been living like this, having women all over. We've been.
Well, hold on a minute. Man. No. In fact, tell me about this living. Tell me about it.
Okay.
Describe it to me. What was it like?
I mean, when the warriors, the kings, and all of them, they had multiple wives. They had children in the tribes. I mean, it's called keeping it in house, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? The woman that live in that tribe, That's where it was all. They
Why
raised
weren't they
babies.
doing it, Pellet?
See, we see you just wanna we on one topic. First you going from the man, and now we went from the daddy issue. Like,
No,
come
it's
on.
not that, Pellet. But what we have to apply in these conversations is critical thinking. You can't just say these statements and then just leave them in the air.
Because
Yes.
because I look at it like this.
So
The
get back to it. Why
westernized
weren't you
culture.
say that we were doing it previously? So I'm
Yes.
saying I'm not even going to argue with that point. So I'm just going to say, why were we doing it, Pellet?
Because that's by law, that's what we're supposed to do as men. Spread our seed around.
By law. Whose law?
By God's
What?
law.
Who's?
By
By
Allah's law.
God's law.
By God's law or
By.
Allah's law.
Oh, now you've really got me interested. Oh my God, hold on. By
Yeah,
God's
I'm
law.
interested too. What are we talking about?
Where can I find this law, please?
I mean, listen, we're not gonna get technical with this because I
No,
don't
we
want
have
to
to get
Bullet,
technical
you're
because
just
you
taking
brought
this
in the Most High.
conversation like off topic with your wild.
All right, sorry, Spice. Sorry,
Yeah,
Spice. Sorry.
your wild.
But I'm going back to what I was saying now, Anita. Like, woman, when you ask me about the woman, I talk about the hoes and all that, the woman I don't respect. Like I said, those women have daddy issues. They looking for men to be their daddy. That's why they call a man a sugar daddy. You understand what I'm saying? Or baby daddy, whatever they
No,
want
but
to
that's not
call
what
them.
we're not talking about that right now.
Bullets.
That's have no
Mhm.
relevance to what we're trying to say. You're just taking it off.
Yeah, man. All right, Spice. Keep your topic moving because it is a
And I
good
feel like
topic.
you're doing it on purpose. So I was gonna ask now,
Yeah.
finally, from your
But
point of view.
Pellet,
I think
one thing I can
she's
tell
right.
you, young man, you have mummy issues.
Yes. Every time he
You
speaks,
have
bullets. You
problems with women. Yeah. So before you come online and start spouting your ting, you need to go and sort out your own self. Trust me.
You know what it sounds.
Have mummy issues. Yeah.
Sister Nine,
I don't
Sister
care
Nine,
how
I
you try
think
to
you're
pretty
right.
it up. You can big up your daddy a little more. You have mummy issues.
I love my mother. I love my mother. Me and my mother
Have
have a great
female
relationship.
issues.
Bullets.
You are a misogynist.
It sounds like he's coming from a hurt place. Every time he
Trust
speaks
me, you
about
got issues,
women,
man.
it
Come
sounds
offline
he's
and
like,
deal with your
yeah.
issues, man.
I don't have women issues though, now, Anita. I really don't.
Okay, we're gonna let this go now.
No, Spice, take it. Bullet, we'll do this another time. This isn't the show, but you have, yeah.
No
Don't get
problem.
it twisted.
I have no problem doing it on another show.
So I was gonna say, Finest Wine.
Yes, babe.
Like, how do you see how it affects our community and like a boy is not having their father? I agree with what everyone's saying, but I just, from my experience, I think that my boy children do pine for their father. I think they do need a man. I'm not saying a woman can't do it by herself, but I think they do need a man for obviously a moral kind of standpoint, and obviously just to obviously have that kind of balance. Not to say,
but Spice, it depends what type of man and what type of balance he's bringing in.
and that's
because you can if you've got a man like Pettit, you might as well be a single mother, sis. I'm telling you.
That's fact, and that's what I want to get into. So I'm glad that you obviously brought that up. That's what I'm saying. But it depends obviously on the man and what type of energy is coming. Because like she gave a very good example. If you had someone like Bullet, you might as well just get on with it by yourself. So that's what I'm trying to say. But do you really think that it's vital for a black boy to be raised in a two-parent home, and do you think it affects them? And how do you think it affects them, like in their adulthood as well, and obviously us as a community?
First and foremost, I think it's very important for a black boy. First of all, I think it's very important for any child to have both parents. But where we're on the subject of black boys, I think it's very, very, very important for children to have their father around, because I believe seeing a man around the house, being told off by a man, being able to confide in a man, I think that's very important for a young black boy to be around, especially in America and the UK, how black people are, you know, how we are treated as black people. We're kind of segregated. So I do feel that it's important for boys to see their dad around. You know, I feel like when a boy doesn't see their dad around, it affects them mentally. When they grow up with sometimes, not all boys, they may grow up with a bit of hate towards a black male because their dad went around.
Or have problem with authority because
I was just gonna come to say that. And they will have problems with authority because the authority figure was always a woman. That's why black women that are not warriors and that are not strong black women, you find their sons when they get to a certain age, they start majorly disrespecting them because it's a woman and they're a man, even though they were brought up by this woman. There's no morals there. There's no they for some way along the line, these young boys that are brought up, this is just my opinion, these boys that are brought up without the fathers around in the same household, somewhere along the line when they get older and they get their independence and they start mingling out on the streets, getting involved in whatever they get involved with, they lose a lack of respect for the mother. Not all of them, but some of them do. They lose a major lack of respect for the mother where you can't tell me.
Sis, let me just chime in and just
go ahead,
underline your thing, sis. Because that's what I'm saying, right? Because now, when you send them into the village of the mandem, they're going into mandem that ain't showing women no respect. You understand what I'm saying to you? And this is what I'm trying to say.
Because that's all they know.
You know what I was saying
all they know.
in you understand me? So remember, enough women, you know, send out their good son out there, you know. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says.
And a lot of women, and I can only speak for the UK because I'm born and raised in the UK. I find a lot of women, and especially black women, I'm not sure if any of the other sisters could agree with me. You know, you got those black women where they know what their son's out there shotting, selling drugs, and then she'll be like, you know, making out the sun shines out of her son's ass. Like her son is any different to the next woman's son that's a drug dealer. Oh, he's just doing it. You know, they start making excuses for their son's behavior and they condone in their son's behavior. A lot of these women know what their sons
but
are
those
out there
is good mothers though.
No.
They stand by their son though.
Bullet, let me just explain this to you. You're gonna listen to this, yeah? You see this panel here. You see, if you're not gonna condone yourself correctly, you're gonna come off it. Do you understand?
Yes, because
I'm not playing with you. You're gonna have that.